And we are back on the WHHI-TV Daily News. With me now is Cinda Seamon, and she is, of course, here to talk to us about safety. She's with Hilton Head Fire Department. So good to see you, as always.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Yeah. And so, you know, we're in the summer, and lots of people are swimming, and we talk, I think maybe even the last time you were here, maybe we talked about public pools and the ocean and things like that. We talk about that a lot. But those places tend to have lifeguards, at least.
They do, and a lot of people there.
And a lot of people there that could be aware. But something we might not talk about as often is backyard pools. And of course, they really do pose a major risk.
They do, because there really isn't sometimes a lot of supervision, and there aren't a lot of people around. So it's really important that we think about having barriers around our backyard pools. Anybody can come walk into your backyard and get into your pool. Gates that lock, especially for small children. It can be so dangerous when kids are wandering around, or neighbors, people, just people who stop in at your pool and say, wow, there's a pool available, there's no gate, there's no anything, I'm gonna hop in. Huge liability. So it's really hard to control that kind of environment. And usually it's just the family, so there's not a lot of people around. So it's really important, again, to emphasize that there always be an adult, always swim in twos, even adults, because if an emergency happens, someone needs to be able to call 911.
Absolutely. And talk to us a little bit about, because in some of the neighborhoods, you know, particularly here in our area, you might not be allowed to have certain kinds of fencing. So what are some other tips? If you can't have that, what are some other tips to help keep it safe?
Well, a couple things you can do. First of all, when you're not attending your pool, keep the floaty toys and the fun things out of it. That's a draw for kids. They're like, wow, look at those floaty toys and look how much fun that would be, and I'll jump on that raft. So keep the pool clean, keep toys out of it. That won't, draw kids into it. The other thing is, if you have an above ground pool that has a ladder, take that ladder away when you're not using the pool anymore. Because then they're like, wow, there's no real way to get to the pool, or a very easy way to get it to the pool. Again, that's a draw for people. Wow, look at that ladder. I can really easily get up into that pool. So those are just a couple things to think about.
Excellent advice. And so then I also, even further preventative measures, we're talking about swimming lessons and learning CPR.
Right, two important things. Learn how to swim. We have so much water around us, pools, ocean, community pools, so many water-related events. Everyone here should try to learn to swim, and it's great if kids can learn when they're really small. And a lot of them do. There are lessons everywhere around here, so that's important. And then obviously learn CPR. We at Hilton Head Island Fire Rescue do offer CPR every single month, and it's free. It's a life-saving skill that is so easy now. It is just so much easier to do these days than it was 25 years ago. It's really streamlined. Anyone can do it. We teach a lot of people CPR. It's a really valuable life skill. So learn that, because if there is a near drowning or someone needs CPR, just think that's more people that can jump in and help during that emergency until help arrives.
So you mentioned it's every month at the fire department. How does somebody find out when it is during that
month?
They
can email, call me, and I'll just let them know what we've got going. But we've got morning classes, evening classes, Saturday classes. It really suits just about anyone's schedule. And it's, like I said, it is a life-saving skill. You'll learn infant, child, adult, AED, choking, the whole package.
The whole nine.
You really can't go wrong.
No, it's very important to do that. And I'm just going to switch gears a little bit. We've talked about swimming and so forth, and obviously you want to get in the water when it's really hot outside, but we've had some really hot days recently. What are some things people should be aware of when they're outside, if they're not in the water, to maybe maybe I need to drink some more water, or maybe I need to sit down or go to the shade.
And that's the thing, is staying hydrated for sure, but paying attention to your body, because when you start to overheat, sometimes that can get out of control. Get into the shade, and don't do things in the heat of the day. Early morning, later at night. Really, are you going to be grilling in the afternoon at like 2 o'clock when it's so hot? Think about the activities that you choose and the time of day that you choose them, because it's really important. If your heat emergency escalates, it can become fatal. So you want to, immediately get into the shade, cool down, hydrate, call for help if you're really not feeling well, because you don't know, your body temperature can rise so quickly.
When do we know when we should call for help and not just we just need to get in the shade?
Well, it's past that stage of, I'm kind of crampy or anything. You're dizzy. You're dry. You should be sweating, and you're dry, and you're maybe disoriented. That kind of thing. When you're like, it's really, this is
Something's
so not me.
weird.
This is something is way off.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the signs that your body are giving you, and don't let yourself get in that position for sure.
Right.
Again, hydrating doesn't mean sodas and alcohol. It means water or drinks with electrolytes, things like that.
Yeah.
We really have to be careful. The heat is so bad right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this time of year it always is.
It always is, but it doesn't hurt to remind us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Cinda, thank you so much for being here. As always, fabulous information.
Thank you.
And we'll be back in a moment, so stay with us.